In 1988, one of the greatest albums ever made dropped and changed the landscape of how lyrics are delivered and how to tell stories when on the microphone. Do you know what that album is? Stay tuned to Heritage Hip Hop, the art of storytelling, as we highlight the great adventures of Slick Rick. November 1st, 1988, hip hop changed because a new voice came into the game at a time when it was flat and nobody was out making a lot of noise. Slick Rick, who was known to rhyme with Dougie Fresh on the world famous song The Show, dropped his phenomenal debut album, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. This album changed not only how people rhyme to tell narratives, but how to set up a song to give a complete idea. See, Slick Rick in this album not only showed you that you could be nice with rhymes, but he changed the complexity of it by telling a complete story from beginning to end, clear narrative that made you go, wow, that was a whole journey I went through on a song. Today we highlight Children's Story. But before we get into that, what did people think about Slick Rick? Nas and Busta Rhymes has cited Slick Rick as being the author of their ability to tell a great story. Now, being that this playlist is all about great stories, let's talk about Children's Story and what that story was about. Now, when it comes to rhymes, Slick Rick painted a perfect picture when he made the song Children's Story. Children's Story is about a 17-year-old boy who wanted to get some money. So he talked to his friend into helping him become a stick-up kid. But the stick-up kid got greedy and he wanted to keep robbing people, and he got caught. And instead of going down, with the circumstances that he created, Slick Rick painted a narrative where the young man gets away from the cop, but has a conscience and faces the consequences of his actions. Whether he's pointing a gun at the police officers, stealing cars, crashing them into trees, he's asking dope fiends for bullets. Not only that, he gets into a shootout with the police, the boy gets shot and then goes to jail. Now, for most people at this time, especially in New York City in the 80s, it was rough, you know what I'm saying? And Slick Rick had the ability to not only take the perspective of the kid in the third person, he showed you the consequences of bad choices and how bad choices lead you to bad things. This ain't funny, don't you dare laugh, just another case about the wrong path. Sound familiar? That's from this song. Now, the one thing I will tell you about Children's Story that makes it a phenomenal story, there's no hook. This is one verse, and the setup of the song is it's a bedtime story from an uncle to the nieces and nephews or whoever he's reading to, who wants a bedtime story. But the bedtime story wasn't about heroes and fighting evil and etc. It was about real life and the instances that people go through when they want to make it and they don't have anything. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we're not with the robbing and everything, but I do respect Slick Rick for not only being able to tell a story, but to also give you the real with it too. He told you, yo, if you do these things, if you commit a crime, there's gonna be consequences to it. Slick Rick will go down in history as one of the greatest storytellers ever, and he may just return to this list. What do you think? Is Children's Story one of the greatest hip hop stories ever told? Let me know. Leave a comment. And also let me know if there's any other stories that you would like for me to do. Also, check the description. We have a collaboration with Super 7, and we'll have links to people who collect collectibles, figures and things. We will have the Slick Rick figures linked to this description. So without further ado, I'm not going to have y'all here all day. Check me out on Instagram and all social media right here at Heritage Hip Hop. Follow my website, www.heritagehiphop.com. Check there for merch. We have merch on TeePublic. Not only that, we're here to celebrate hip hop culture and just let everybody know hip hop is more than just beats or rhymes. It is our expression. And since we are God's people, that makes us his heritage, and our heritage is hip hop. This is Forever Heritage Hip Hop saying peace, and we out.
Real hip hop. Real hip hop. We here. Real hip hop.